Well, hey guys, it's a very cold, rainy day here in Michigan, so I thought I'd make a video on the top 5 things not to do to your C6 Corvette. So number one, window tint. If you buy a C6, please just drive the car before you tint the windows. There is such a bad blind spot, especially on the driver's side, which I know you can't see very well on camera, but trust me, it's there. It only gets worse if you tint your windows. So please, 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 please drive the car on the highway, any road with more than one lane on each side. Just get a feel for the blind spots before you tint your windows. Because man, I bought this car with tinted windows, very illegally tinted. I planned on taking them off anyway, but on the drive home, 40 miles on the highway, let me tell you what, um, never seen a worse blind spot in my life. Mustangs, for example, the S550 Mustang, some of them have blind spot indicators. Even without the blind spot indicators, it would be okay. You can look in the mirror, you can do a quick check around your shoulder, but in this car, even doing the check around your shoulder, looking back, it is hard, guys. It's hard. So just keep that in mind. Number two, be careful for those of you with T-tops. Make sure that whenever you take this on and off, and also another tip, keep it clean, right? Make sure you latch every single one of these latches. If you spend any amount of time on the Corvette form, specifically around the C6s, and I guess the C7s too, it's applicable to them as well. These latches here, if you have one of them not secure, that roof is coming off and you'll be joining what's known as the Flying Roof Club. Nobody wants to be part of that. And unfortunately, we've seen a lot of C6s where they have black tops, and some of them are by choice, right? Some people have multiple T-tops for their C6. No problem with that at all. But a lot of them are also folks that join the Flying Roof Club, and it's hard to find a color matched Target top these days with these cars being 14 plus years old. So they wound up getting a black one. So it's just make sure, again, when you're taking them on or taking them off, just first thing you gotta do when putting this on, secure all those latches. Double check, triple check, do whatever you have to do, because nobody wants to deal with that very high expense. Number three, for those of us that have more stock cars, when we make changes, keep the parts. It might be tempting to sell them, but if you have the room around the house or whatever, just keep them around. You never know if you're going to need them again. But also, it's very nice when you sell the car. Anybody who buys a car that's more than 10 years old, we're looking to have the original parts. Having the original steering wheel, the original steering, the wheels, everything. It just makes a more complete package for the next guy, assuming that's going to happen. I don't plan on selling my car, but I sure as heck am going to keep all the parts around, assuming I change them out. Next on the list, be careful lowering your car. We're all tempted to take our C6 Corvette and lower them on the stock bolts. Guys, there's a reason why they're not that way from factory. The bolts are set from factory to be safe on the road. Now, if you don't live in a place like Michigan that has horrible roads or lots of crazy inclines or driveways or whatever, it kind of makes sense. If you're on the track, and you're able to afford to have that car sit lower without bottoming out on stuff, absolutely go for it. But and I'll be honest, the C6 looks better lowered, but why take the risk? I feel like I scrape in this car as much as it is. I don't need to add to that just to make the car look a little cooler. And of course, the last thing that I want to talk about, we're actually going to have to get out of the car for this one. Be careful on this note. On any incline, guys. We all know that the Corvette is very low to the ground, much lower than a S550 Mustang, for example. But the last thing that we want to do is hit our radiator support, which is right there. This guy right here is the radiator support. And when this flap, this air dam flap, is, I guess, crushed or whatever by the incline, this support is the next thing to hit. And if you look at mine, you will see that I had some hits, as well as some scrapes. Happy I got Dr. Color Chip to fix these. But anyway, the reason why these supports are a big deal, and they are rather robust. They are robust. But if you're clocking really quick into a steep incline, or if you're about to go over, you know, those parking barrier things or whatever, if you hit it hard enough, you're going to break that radiator support, and it is not an easy thing to replace. It's expensive. The part itself is about $300, but replacing the, radiator support, not a good time, guys. So anyway, at 5 minutes on this video, thought I'd make a quick little list, something for me to do. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. And I'll be making more of these, so I'll see you guys in the next video.